Hi and welcome to another watch review. In this video I'm gonna show you my Casio EQS500 in this case it's a 500 dB. It's my personal watch, had it for about 4 years now. I believe I bought it in 2014. It does have some scratch marks on it. The mineral glass also is scratched, as you can see, and the outside bezel also had a few scratches. Also stainless steel bracelet, daily wear and tear here and there, but pretty much that's it. In my opinion, this is the best watch I ever had, and I had a couple of them. you know in this first segment of the detailed review, pretty much that's the main topic. It's the durability and the toughness of these watches, as well as the technology that comes with the watch itself, and also it's very beautiful watch to wear, and it's eye-catching for the others. But this is the full analog watch, so unlike the modern Casio Edifices, well, most of them are combined with the digital time, or subdials are in digital format. So what I would like to also say is that this watch is pretty simple for an eye to understand the basic timekeeping formats. So here we have a minute and the hour hand. We have the three subdials. The upper left one shows the AM and PM time format. The this right subdial shows the current day. Well, it's wrong, and I'm gonna today is Thursday and says it's Friday, but we are going to set it the correct way. Lower right subdial is the date, so it's 1st of November today, and we have a left subdial that shows the time in the selected time zone, which is a second time zone. Basically, that's why we have the inner bezel showing the all these towns, which are actually the different time zones. The watch is equipped with solar cell, so the battery doesn't need replacing. Well, theoretically, the watch also has indicator, and since this is analog watch, the indicator is actually a second hand, which is gonna skip. As you can see in this, currently the battery is full because the second hand is operating 1 second at a time. When it's operating or skips a 1 second, so it's a 2 seconds at a time, the watch needs charging. Basically, all you need to do is put the sun to the your window, or enough number of luxes so the watch would charge its battery. And in this segment also I'm going to show you the modes of the watch. This is the standard timekeeping mode. When I'm pressing the C button over here, as it said in the instructions manual, basically you Google the module number. It's 5123, and the very detailed instruction manual will appear to you. So basically, by pressing the C button, the right subdial is gonna move, and as you can see now, it's in the stopwatch mode. Now these hands will align, and now I'm not gonna go through the stopwatch mode because that will be a detailed review later. Pressing the button again, we go into the different, or the second time zone mode, which is this one, this subdial over here. And as you can see, it's also set in Paris. The second hand shows that, and pressing it again, I don't know if you can see it, but the subdial hand shows the alarm mode. Yes, it says ALM, and we have off and on. By switching, or this button over here, we can switch between the alarms, and the alarm is set over here. depressing this button until you hear the beep, the watch is again in timekeeping mode. So basically that's pretty much it. I would recommend this watch to buy, but in the further down the video I'm gonna show you all the functions and all the capabilities of the watch. So stay tuned for the next function of the watch. Configuring home city settings or setting your home city. Well, the watch itself comes factory preset and the values are correct. So it's automatically programmed to when I'm saying talking about a factory preset, I'm talking about the watch calendar. It's factory preset to 2099. So basically the watch comes in, in a time zone. Let's say it's a different time zone than you are in. So to whilst your watch is in standard timekeeping mode, or it's preset to another time, keep pressing or depress this button over here until you hear a beep. It needs a 5 second. This button takes 5 seconds pressing. And we heard the tone. So my time zone is the Paris time zone. So the watch currently is in that time zone, but when I'm switching between different time zones, I'm using this button over here. As you can see, it goes, the second hand is gonna move clockwise and it's gonna move to a different time zone. Let's say we want the watch to be in a Hong Kong mode. So Hong Kong time. So let's watch the hour and the minute hand move, as well as this sub dial over here, and in some cases even the date and the day will move. So let's let the watch do its job. And that's pretty much it. We see the watch is in a Hong Kong time zone. It's 1st of November over there also, but as you can see, it's Monday over there, although the watch didn't keep the, no, I believe this, no, the watch, now it says this sub-dial over here shows the standard timekeeping mode and the daylight saving time mode. So if you are in Hong Kong and you want to watch to go to daylight saving time, just press this button over here once, and the watch, as you can see, went from standard timekeeping to daylight saving time keeping. Now I'm gonna press this button over here again and get it back to standard timekeeping. And that's pretty much how the watch timekeeping mode or finding your home city setting works. Now I'm gonna go back and go and put the watch in my time zone. So again, pressing this button over here, I'm gonna go to the Paris time zone and let the watch do its job. And there it is. I fast forward this segment of the video, so the watch is back in my current timekeeping zone, and it's standard daylight save, or not a daylight savings time mode, so it's a standard timekeeping mode, and that's pretty much it. Now to get back to the timekeeping mode or let the watch function normally, just press this button over here, and that's it. As you can see, it's we are back in timekeeping mode, standard timekeeping mode. Watch says it's Friday the 1st, and we have AM PM shown over here, and the hour and the minute hand show the correct time. Configuring current time and date setting. Whilst in timekeeping mode, depress this button over here until you hear the watch beep. It takes 5 seconds of pressing, and then the watch shows the time zone, but we want to adjust, let's say we want to adjust the hour and the minute hand. So we press C button over here, or this lower left button, and the hands align. And now to do what we want to, and that is to let's say adjust the hour and the minute hand, we use these two buttons over here. So as you can see, while I'm pressing this button over here, the hand moves 1 minute, and the increment is of 1 minute at a time. So let's check the time. It's 51. So using this button, it goes down, and this, it goes up, and we get it back to 51, and it's 13 o'clock, so 1 p.m. and that's and while we are finished, we just press this button over here, and the watch will go back to timekeeping mode as standard. So there it is. We've set the time, correct time on the Casio EQS500 DB. Also forgot to mention, let's get back to the setting of the hour and a minute. Again, depressing this, and then pressing C to fast rotate the watch hands. Just keep and press this button, and the hour hand will start, minute hand will start to rotate. So I pretty much have set my time and going back to timekeeping mode. This time we are changing the current date setting, and it is the year. This watch comes automatically preset, so if your watch is off, we are going to adjust the year on this watch. So depress this button over here again. Again, we are in standard timekeeping mode right now. And then the watch beeped. We are pressing this button over here twice. Once, twice. And as you can see, the second hand is aligned with the 5-minute marker. So each of these markers represents the tenths of the year. So it's 2010 right now, 2020, 2013, 2040, 56, and 290. And then the watch is calibrated to year 2099. Now, when I want to shift or move the year, we use this button over here. So as you can see, it's gonna change, and then I'm gonna get it back to 2010. We are now in 2010, and again, pressing this button over here, we go to ones digit. So it's 2010, and as you can see, the year is not correct on this watch currently. Since it's 2018, I'm gonna get to 2018. We go to 8 o'clock. So now it's 2018. And that's pretty much it. Now, to get back to timekeeping mode, just press this button over here. And since my watch wasn't corrected whilst shooting the video previously, now it's correct, and it's showing that today is Monday. Still, we are configuring the date. So in timekeeping mode, depressing the upper left button. Now we are configuring the month and this number over here. So we are pressing the C button once. That's for the hands. The hands are okay. We have the year, tenths, ones, digits, and now by pressing it again, we are moving to ones. As you can see, it's showing November, but actually it is on November. It's 11th. I believe it's 5th of November today, so that's okay. And again, pressing the C button, we shuffle to date. Now, the date is good, but what I wanted to show you is how we move the date. So by pressing this button over here, as you can see, the motor of the watch rotates the date. And by pressing this one, it goes back to 5th. So that's pretty much it. Now you can shuffle between the dates, between the date numbers. So again, I'm pressing this button, goes back to 6, and then goes to 5th of November. So I'm pretty much satisfied now. The watch is up to date and set at the correct time and date. Now, you want to get back to timekeeping mode, just press the A button over here, and the watch is in standard timekeeping mode. showing the correct time, year, month, and your date and day. This watch also has a subdial, and in a standard timekeeping mode, this subdial shows the time in a different time zone. So if you are a frequent flyer, let's say from, I don't know, LA to San Francisco, but you live in LA, and you want to have your San Francisco time shown over here, you have this watch has that function. Now in timekeeping mode, press C button from once, we are stopwatch, and then once again to enter this subdial mode. Now my time is set exactly, this subdial to me on my watch shows the same time as my standard timekeeping mode. So to shuffle, let's say, to another town, I'm using this button over here, and I'm gonna set it to, I don't know, let's say we are going to Los Angeles, and now we are waiting for the hands over here to shuffle or change the to Los Angeles time. Again, this is a subdial, and this is another function of the watch, not a main timekeeping mode. As you can see, it shows the current time in the Los Angeles. Now, if LA has a daylight saving time and standard time, you can shuffle between that also. So by pressing this button over here, you change that too. But that's pretty much it. To go back to standard timekeeping mode, just press the C button and hold it. The watch is in your standard timekeeping mode, keeping your time, and the I don't know what we said, Los Angeles, I believe. It's set to Los Angeles time in the subdial, lower left subdial over here. The watch shows the exact time on the main watch dial and hands, and that's pretty much it. Using the stopwatch, before going back to a stopwatch function, I want to detail what the stopwatch, since this is an analog watch, the different hands and the subdials have a different function. So to just to clarify some things, the second hand, as you can see in this watch, it's a red one, indicates the stopwatch 1/10 of a second. The lower left dial indicates the stopwatch minutes, the shorthand, and the long hand indicates the seconds. Right dial hand indicates, so this is the right, that's the dial, indicates the stopwatch is 1/100 of a second. So to get to a stopwatch mode, press the C button over here. The C button, I'm constantly telling you the CBA button because it's in the manual, but it's a lower left button. So the pressing it once goes back to stopwatch mode, and the hands are going to align. We are waiting for this subdial over here to align at 12 o'clock. This one already is, and the second hand is at the 12 o'clock. So if we turn on the watch, it says reset on and start and stop. So this button over here starts the stopwatch, and as you can see, it's gonna measure the had some technical difficulties, but let's get back to the demo. So again, starting the stopwatch, the second hand is gonna rotate for about 30 seconds, not about exactly 30 seconds. So we are waiting for this minute hand to go to 30 seconds, and the watch's second hand will stop, but the watch will keep the track of time. So let's see how it goes. So we are getting close to 30-second mark. As you can see, the seconds is still counting. By pressing this button over here, we are gonna stop the stopwatch, and you're gonna watch this subdial over here move to the correct 1/100 of a second time, and then there it is. So pressing it again resumes the stopwatch. Again, stop, resume, and then we stop, and this button over here resets it, and that's pretty much it about the stopwatch. So depress this button to get back to timekeeping mode. So press this button till you hear the beep. That's it. The watch is back in timekeeping mode. Moving on to alarm function of the watch. Now, again, I'm in a timekeeping mode, and the alarm function is shown on this subdial over here. When I'm gonna enter the alarm function using this button, and this subdial's bigger hand is gonna show to the move to the alarm dot, because you can see it. You can see it because it's 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. I'm gonna show you the screenshot or in the over here. Now, pressing this button, we are in stopwatch mode, another time zone, and then we are in the alarm mode. As you can see, the second hand is gonna move to the indicates to is the alarm on or off. Currently my alarm is on and off, and we are waiting to see what time alarm is set. And using these two buttons over here, I'm gonna set the alarm at the time I want. So I'm gonna set the alarm at 12 o'clock. As you can see, now I'm gonna detail you about this subdial over here, which is very important. These smaller subdial dots or markers indicate the hours, and the bigger outside dots or markers indicate the alarm's minute hands or minute increments. So I'm moving now to, let's say, as you can see, it's at 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock and 5 minutes. So alarm is off. To turn it on, I press this button over here and it's on. So the watch will beep at 12 o'clock and 5 minutes every day for about 10 seconds. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna get back to 12 o'clock, and that's pretty much it, how the alarm works. So again, using these two buttons over here, you move the hands to set your alarm. Depressing these buttons will gonna fast rotate the watch hands fast. I'm gonna set it at 12 o'clock. I'm gonna keep it off. Again, using this button over here, we turn the alarm on or off, and the second hand indicates it. Depressing the C button or the lower left button goes back to timekeeping mode. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna show you how these tough solar or smart movements Casio makes go into a battery saving mode, or as the title of this video is gonna say, waking up a Casio watch. But before waking up, we have to put it to sleep. So this module number 5123 says it the watch itself comes into battery saving mode after 6 or 7 days left in a dark place. The solar cell tells it that the watch is not exposed to sun, so the watch is stored somewhere and it's not on the wrist. So the minute and the hour hand align at 12 o'clock, and so does this second hand. So to do that and see how the watch wakes itself, first of all, we're gonna put it to sleep. So I'm gonna use this plastic container and put it face down and put it to sleep like this, and I'll make a next video or in the after the 6 or 7 days. So here we are again at the waking up the watch. The watch was sealed in this container for I don't know, about a week, longer than a week. So the sensors pretty much told the watch hands to align at 12 o'clock, and the second hand also. So when we wake up the watch and expose it to the sun, it should the hand should set itself to a correct time. So here we go. As you can see, the watch is face down and still not exposed, and when we do expose it, you can see what's happening. Let me get a better shot of it. So there is waking up a Casio watch. I believe it's like almost 3 p.m. so it has a lot of work to do. As you can see, the subdials also were aligned. Let's see if they are going to. I don't know if you can hear it, but the watch motors are working. And yep, let's see if this one is going to change. This one did, main dial did, the sub dial over here is working on it, and this one too. So there it is, pretty much the watch waking up in action. Thanks for watching.